What's up, guys? I'm here today with the deck profile for the deck that I played for yesterday's tournament at my locals, Murrillo Digital Systems. On the 25th, I went X1 with it with 9 points, same as the second place, and actually the first place too. I'll go into what happened with that at the end. But pretty much I went X1. I played against 2 Trickstar players, an Invoked and a Spiral, and my only loss was to the Invoked hand trap. This has no hand traps in it at all, just kind of proving that, you know, this is a combo deck. It doesn't really like to have cards that aren't part specific to what the deck can do itself. Yeah, obviously playing Ash and Droll helps a lot and stuff, but this is just a no hand trap build that we had put together that I feel very comfortable playing, that I've been playing. So yeah, let's just get into it. 3 Skullcrobat Joker. Obviously, this is the #1 searcher of the deck. 1 Performer Pal Pendulum Sorcerer. I actually probably would play 2 of this card, because popping the double Iris to get the Skullcrobat Joker search and then the double Iris search afterwards is super powerful. You really don't. I don't know. The main play now to go for is Omega with Baguska first turn. So you don't really get to make the Tornado Dragon a whole lot, and pop the double Iris to get the trap card search. So this kind of becomes, you know, that possibility search for you. So I'm thinking about playing it for 2, not for the popping so much as much more as the what it's popping. Triple Wisdom Eye, obviously. It's pretty much 3 of every Magician. You know, 3 Harmonizing, double Iris, Black Fang, my favorite card in the deck. Purple Poison. I am now playing this card, the 1 White Wing Magician. I actually do really like drawing her, because she is really powerful in the scale, being that she's able to negate a effect that targets one of your monsters, and then she destroys herself. So you're able to kind of like pop this off, and then if you have the continuous spell on the field, you're able to get a search from that. So that's actually pretty cool. 2 Oath Dragon. I've been playing 1 since the deck came out, but I have a big problem with this at 1, being that Desires banishes it, and sometimes it gets ogred or something like that. So I just feel like playing 2 is like the better way to do it now, especially because you don't really mind drawing into it, because like if somebody interrupts this, like the activating, then you can activate another one or something, or you know, you can just get this card really, you have access to this card really easily, so you don't really mind playing 2. 2 Astrograph. I don't really care for this card at 3. It's really nice to see every once in a while, maybe in your opening hand and whatever, but it's mostly really good for comboing with things like Wisdom Eye to get a little bit of extra push. I mostly summon this guy to actually make Decode Talker to get another link material on the board for that. So yeah, I just he's useful. The only hand trap in the deck is the Maxi. Obviously, it's the God card. I really don't feel like playing the Drolls and the Ashes, because there was a lot of games where, you know, I play this deck, and I've been playing it since before I played Ashes and stuff in it. So when I play it without hand traps, other than obviously this doesn't really count, this is a God card, I was always drawing it, and then I was bricking. And yeah, it was nice to be able to stop my opponent, but it wasn't as nice making a board that was pretty much unbreakable. 2 Duelist Alliance. I've been playing it at 3, but I feel like 2 is the right way to go. It doesn't have that big of a search pool. It mostly just is there for searching double Iris and maybe the spell card if you already have the double Iris or something. But yeah, I don't really feel like it's necessary. I like that you can search Sorcerer off this to do that. You know what I was talking about, popping the double Iris with it. 1 Pendulum Call. I might play this at 2. I really like opening this card because it really simplifies what you're going to do for the turn, being that you can activate this, and then you can go straight into your next plays, like the Harmonizing and stuff. So you really don't have to focus too much on like the side plays like Wisdom Eyes and stuff like that. And it protects your scales, so that's kind of really nice too. So if you open the trap card or something, then you're able to pop off the trap card and get a pop and a send to the grave because of this card. And it's really good in the mirror match. Speaking of the mirror match, 3 Wavering Eyes. Obviously, you play it for the mirror match, but I actually do really like it. I do like this card because even though it is, I will admit, it is a bad card in general because it doesn't really have the best utility in the world. It still does have like some potential. Like there's some crazy plays where you open up like Wisdom Eye, and this, and you can get like a huge board because of that. And this can kind of like unbrick hands and stuff like that too. And the fact that you can do the Astrograph play where you search them off this and then reveal them is kind of cool. So I don't mind playing it at 3, even if there isn't going to be any mirror matches. I kind of just like to have this card as like a tool in the deck. 2 Desires. Even though playing it at 3 is the right way to go, because I will agree with that 3 is not that bad of a decision. I still just don't like drawing the second one. I can resolve the second one and be fine. The game generally ends within 1 or 2 turns of playing this deck, so just opening with this is nice, but it's not necessary. The 1 Dark Hole, no Raigeki. I don't really care much for the board wipes because like your monsters can be destroyed and get effects. And then, this is just pretty much just for the one-time use of just let me get rid of your field real quick for, if you go second or whatever, but doesn't matter. 2 MST. I like this card because you don't really have to play Cosmic Cyclone. The pay 1,000 to banish was only really necessary back when, True Draco was a thing, so that you wouldn't, like, F yourself over with the trap cards when you pop them or whatever. But I like this card because it just has the utility of being an MST for your opponent, and also you're able to really utilize it using it on yourself. Like there was a time where I had a purple poison in the scale and the continuous spell card, and I couldn't get to the trap card, and I had a tornado to pop the purple poison to get a destruction effect to pop a card, and it actually got kaiju'd, and I had the MST set, so I flipped the MST and targeted purple poison. I got a search and a pop with it, so that was just really nice. Like you can turn this into another tool. This deck is really good at turning things into like other ways, like having other ways of using other cards. It's really toolboxy. 2 of this card. I only play 2 because of Desires. Desires is the pot giveth, the pot taketh. So, But, yeah, I like to pop this off as many times as possible. A lot of people are like, oh, you activate this, you get it once or twice, and then you're already winning from there. But I don't know. I just see this card as just being huge, like being able to synchro for Omega and then searching because it left the field. One of your magicians left the field. So, I don't know. 2 is just fine by me. I've never not wanted to play both. And then 2, the trap card, obviously, the best card in the deck. The reason that this deck is so overly powerful. This card was just insane. I was top decking it all day, just hard drawing it like a god, and then Duelist Alliancing into it if I really needed to. So yeah, that's it for the main deck. For the extra, the one Time Star. This is the example of I make it once, and then the duel's over by then. You make this first, and if it stays alive till your turn, then you get a second search, so it becomes like Pot of Greed, and then it has the protection effect, so that's really good, especially for the mirror matches. It's not really a first turn card that I would say. I think it's more of an extender for when I have my second turn. 1 Baguska, this is your now go-to, along with the Tornado Dragon. You can go into either one of these first turn, depending on what you're playing against. If you're playing against Spiral, you may want to make Baguska because they just lose to it. Otherwise, if you're playing something like Trickstars, then you could go either way. I actually kind of make Tornado Dragon against them so I can hit the field spell or some back row or whatever. That's what I did to my second Trickstar matchup. I made Tornado Dragon and I popped his field spell when it came out. The Utopia package. I play all 3 cards of the Utopia package because I really like being able to use his effect 2 times. I don't really see a point in doing it the one time and then having a dead Utopia on the field. I like to get as many uses out of it as possible, and sometimes this guy's effect comes up. This is I want to cut this, but the day that I cut it, I'm gonna be burned. I'm gonna get burned to death. So, just for the Trickstars. Paladin, I still play Paladin. You play Omega, obviously. I don't play a second one. I don't feel a need to make 2 Omegas first turn and then take cards out of your hand, and then after that have nothing left on the field. Like, I see them doing that, making like double Omega, but I feel like it's much more intimidating when you make an Omega and then like a Tornado or a Baguska or something. I think the only upside to it is, like, let's say you know you're about to get Kaiju, you're playing against something that's going to put that in, like you're playing Invoked and it's about to happen, then yeah, you can make 2 of these and be fine and out of the way. So I may bump it to 2. Ignister, this is just for the Cosmo beater, killing cards that are really hard to get rid of, popping your own cards to get certain effects. This popping a purple poison to shuffle a card back leads to destroying a second card. the Raigeki. My friend plays this, and I refuse to take it out because every time I play a game, there's so many times where I could have made this and won, and I keep forgetting that this card is even there, and he just makes it like without even thinking, and he just wins. He wins with it. That's it for the level 8s. The other like rank 4s, Castell, for shuffling problem cards back, Gagaga for winning games, and Dweller because it's staple. The Gagaga I've been playing since I started playing the deck. I've gamed every tournament I go to. There's at least one time. There's one time it happens. And then the King, Decode Talker. Generally, your first turn consists of making an Omega, tagging out with it, and then making a Baguska after that. And then on your turn, when it comes around, the Omega comes back, and then you summon you turn this to, my favorite thing to do is to turn this to attack mode, normal Skullcrobat Joker to search, and then link using for this, and then using Omega's effect to put back the Baguska and him back to the extra deck, pendulum summoning, swinging at them if I can, and then remaking the Baguska for the next turn. That's that for the extra deck. Side, I didn't really side all day. It was just kind of thrown together with like cards that we knew were pretty decent. But I did side in one card that did win me a game. 2 Zaphions. I didn't put this in. Don't need to explain it. 2 Denko. I put one of these in against Trickstars, and I didn't see it, so it didn't really come up. We all know why Denko's a god. This was actually the card that I sided in. We had cards for our side deck, and I was like, oh, give me the Skullmeisters because I want to play them today. And I actually played against Brian, and when he used his Reincarnation in Graveyard, he started to do a link play, and I Skullmeistered the Graveyard effect and negated it, and he actually lost the game from that, and I was able to take that win from him. Didn't come up, obviously. Necessary though. Didn't come up. This is just for the mirror match, and so are these. I know it's not 15 cards, but we just kind of threw it together at the last minute. I mean, I still went X1. So yeah, that's it for the deck profile. I'll have another video up for my friend's Trickstar deck that he played for the day, and get that to you guys. If there's anything you guys want to see, we have friends that have decks like, Weathery, what's that deck called? Magical Musketeers. If you guys want to see anything, you let me know in the comments, and I'll bring it to you guys. Peace out. Thanks for watching.